What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back home, back in the UK, people, with another live stream. I've had a crazy 48 hours. My green screen and everything is not even set up. I pulled it all down before I went on tour, so forgive me. We're moving a bit mad today, people. Well, big up to everyone locked in. Good to be back. And a lot to talk about, of course. A lot happened on the tour, and a lot's happened since I've been back as well. So big up to everyone, and appreciate all of your support and the numbers that we got while we was in Singapore, which I really enjoyed Singapore. Apart from the luggage, which we will talk about. No, it's all mad, people. You know what? I actually feel mad being back on stream, although I did do one stream while we were over there. By the way, my Instagram has been hacked. If you follow me on the gram, um, there's madness going on there. So don't sign up for anything. There's some guy who's hacked me and he's trying to get people to sign up to some, I don't know what it is, some pyramid scheme. So do not sign up for anything. That is not me. And do me a favor, if you do follow me on Instagram, please report that account so they shut it down at least. If anyone's ever been hacked on Instagram, it's so difficult to regain your account back. It's absolutely mad. So, yeah, do not sign up for anything on my Instagram. It is not me. They've locked me out of it, and I'm trying to get it back. So yeah, people were messaging me saying, "Congratulations." I said, "What are you talking about, bro?" They said, "You got a new house and a new car." I said, "What? How come I don't know about it?" People sending me pictures, "Raw, you bought this house." I said, "Nah, bro. I checked my Instagram. It was mash up." So yeah, man, avoid at all costs, people. Do not send any details to that account. And please report it. Please report it. I need to get that account locked so I can get it back. Um, yeah, crazy 48 hours, people. Crazy 48 hours. I am back in my house, but as I said, I took the green screen and everything down before I went on tour. I've come back. I haven't set everything up. I haven't even emptied my suitcase yet. Um, I mean, it took long enough to turn up. I should have emptied it by now. So, just to give you a rundown of my last couple of days, because I'm always, we have these conversations, we interact. So Sunday evening after the game against, who do we even play? Newcastle. I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I do. I need the two-factor authentication on social. Yeah, I've done it now on the other ones. I should have been sharper with Insta. So Sunday night, I'm sitting there. I'm in the hotel room and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I've got a decision to make. I've only organized to go to Singapore. I had no intention of going Hong Kong. So I'm like, okay, do we come back? The time difference in Singapore is like 7 hours. It took me like 3 or 4 days to adapt um, to the time difference. Yeah, here's that one, Curtis Shaw 9 account that report it for me, please, people. So I was tired. So I thought, do I go back? But then I was enjoying the tour. So I'm like, do I go to Hong Kong? I'm in the hotel room. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Part of me is tired. I've had a good 8 days on tour. Go home. The other part of me is going, I'm not leaving. Leonardo DiCaprio settings. And then on Sunday, I found out that Cruz, my son, has got injured while on holiday. Um, and it's quite a bad injury. So from that moment, I was like, I'm going home. I've got to go back. Anyone who's a parent in the chat, you'll know when your child gets hurt, you're hurt, you got to go home. You know what I'm saying? So I came home. Um, and yeah, man, I flew back and the flight was delayed. It took ages. I didn't get back till the evening. And then, yeah, I appreciate that. Everyone wishing Cruz well. And yeah, and then yesterday we had to sort out his injury. And then back today, and like I said, the green screen's not up. My suitcase ain't empty. I'm all over the place. But we're here. I said, listen, today I got to lock in with the community. Let's talk and let's talk football. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Listen, he's going to be out for a little bit um, while he recovers, man. But listen, he's all right, and that's the main thing. Kids, they heal. You know what I'm saying? They heal quickly at that age. So yeah, man, he'll be fine. But I appreciate all the well wishes, and I'll pass it on to him as well. Um, And you know what? He's actually got a new game from being unwell. You know, like when you're not well as a kid, you get treated to something. So he got a new game today, so he's happy with that. But listen, big up to everyone. No green screen. I'm actually in two minds, you know. I kind of love the green screen. It kind of goes hand in hand with the channel, but I'm denying myself so much better camera quality by not having the green screen up. But I need to get a better background if we're going to do that. Yeah, yeah, big up. Yeah, I got a Saka and Declan Rice shirt um, for him as well, which was great. I tried to get the Gyökeres signed shirt, but because it was the first day that he'd signed, they kind of just pushed him out the door. He didn't stop for anyone. So yeah, man, it was that's nice. Maybe we'll get them framed and get them up in the background, you know. But listen, big up to everyone. Love the question to Arteta and Saliba. Listen, we done our thing, you know. We done our thing. I honestly feel like I look back on tours and the questions, and I say to myself, was that a good question? So let me just give you the breakdown. Forgive me for waffling, but before we get into all the news, first press conference we get into, Norgard and Arteta are sitting there. In my head, I don't have any question prepared for Norgard. What am I going to ask Norgard? No disrespect, but I just didn't have anything prepared for him. So the question that I was going to ask Arteta was, listen, after these, you know, second place finishers, do you feel you have to win a trophy? Do you feel you have to win a trophy? As I'm about to ask Arteta a question, the lady who does the press conference says, oh, can you ask Christian Norgard a question? So I'm like, raw. Norgard, I ain't even got a question prepared for him. So I had to quickly just think on my feet. All these journalists are looking at me. I'm like, hi, Christian, what made you make the decision to leave Brentford where you're playing every week to go to Arsenal where you're going to have a lot of competition for places? I had to just throw that out there. Sky picked up the question. So I'm like, job done. There you go. Then, to be fair to Arteta again, Arteta said, yo, you can ask me a question, even though the media woman was saying you can just ask Norgard a question. So Arteta again said, you can ask me a question. He did the same thing last year in Philadelphia. To be fair, he waffled his way out of the question. He started talking about pressure. He basically didn't even mention anything to do with winning trophies. And I thought, you've answered the question without answering the question. But he's very good at it. It was funny because some people were in the comments saying, why didn't you have a go at him in the press conference? I said, understand how this game works, people. The emotion of losing a big game and being frustrated with your manager and saying you don't think he's the right man for the job is very much different to sitting in a press conference in pre-season asking him a question. You have to understand, if you overstep the mark, you are never going in a press conference again. That's the reality of the situation. You can ask him a difficult question, but it has to be structured in the right way. I'm convinced Arteta is involved in the C Unit community. I'm telling you now, he's watching. 2 years in a row, the guy said, yo, don't worry, you can ask me a question. And it's funny, right? Because I won't say who said this, but somebody involved with Arsenal, he said, Arteta probably has got more respect for you than some of these journalists. And I said, why? Why do you think that? And he said, and this is a guy that works for Arsenal, by the way, right? And he said, Mikel is a very sort of straight up and down person in the sense that he says what he thinks outside of the press conferences. He said he's probably got more respect for you as a fan who's saying you're not doing good enough, you're not the right manager for the job, but when you do well, I'll give you your praise. He probably respects that more than a journalist that's all, oh, shaking hands, oh, Mikel, where they might stab him in the back. So I said, okay, fair enough. Yeah, you never know. But no, listen, he knows what time it is, man. He definitely, 2 years in a row, it ain't a coincidence. So yeah. And then, just to give you the final part of it, press guy comes over and he says, you guys can ask one question, right? He said, you can ask one question. Now, I'm standing, obviously, with all the AFTV boys. So he said to Cecil, you can ask one question, right, for AFTV. But I had to make it clear to the press guy, I'm here with the AFTV guys. That's my people. But I'm here on my channel. The press pass that I have says Curtis Shaw TV on it. It doesn't say AFTV on it. So I'm entitled to a question as well. And he said, okay. So then Cecil asked him a question. I think he said, what you're hoping to achieve next season. And I said, listen, there's only one question that Saliba needs to be asked. Are you signing a new contract at Arsenal? Now, obviously, I know the game. He was not going to turn around and say, you know what, I'm going Madrid, Hala Madrid. He's not going to say that. But the answer was very like, I said, no, that's a little bit, it felt like he's staying. Now, he might not, but it felt like he is. The man turned around and said, hopefully soon, God is great. I said, brother, you can't start referencing God and then go to Real Madrid. If you're referencing God, you better sign the thing. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I'll be real. And listen, footballers lie. It felt like, yo, it's serious what you're saying. You're going to sign a new contract. Fabrizio tweets it. The Daily Mail tweet it. Sky tweet it. None of them gave me the credit, which is frustrating. But they put AFTV. And if you guys saw the video was there of me asking him the question. So it is what it is. If you saw the full video, cool. Fabrizio put AFTV, it's no problem. The people in the comments who know, they know that I obviously asked the question. I honestly felt like it was a genuine answer. It felt like, yo, big people business, you're staying at the club. But let's see. If he does, I'm going to say, yo, I asked that question first. I don't want to hear it from no one. Fabrizio put it out, 5 million views, blah, blah, blah. Isak told Matty Renton he was staying. Well, there we go. There we go. But he didn't say anything about God, you know? Man said God is great. Well, you better be telling the truth, Saliba. But listen, just a bit of insight into the tour. I know, listen, I've waffled on for 14 minutes, but we had a lot to talk about. I want to say a big thank you, by the way, to all of you who kept it locked on Shaw on Tour. We got great numbers, subscribers flying up, and you guys were locked in. Loads of comments, lots of support. Really appreciate everybody supporting the short content, which is kind of just thrown up, you know. But no, man, I feel like, I'm telling you now, and I say this all the time, don't I? I never came into this space to be no journalist. I don't want to be a journalist. I never ever in my life have wanted to be a journalist. I just want to be a fan that asks the questions. And I think sometimes that straight up and down approach of just, brother, this, that, bang, tell us the answer. I think sometimes you get a better response from that. Saliba, are you going to sign a new contract? Arteta, if you don't win a trophy, what happens? What are the? I think sometimes you get an easier reaction from that. So yeah, man, big up. Yeah, no more waffling. I am not a journalist. No chance. Credit could have earned you. That's the frustrating thing. If Fabrizio would have given me the credit for that question, we're now, what are we? We're 2,000, we're 2,200 from 100k. We might have hit 100k, you know. And big up my boy Doorman. And you know what? I got to give him some credit because I call my tour Shaw on Tour. His channel is Door on Tour. So I got to give him credit for that. Because, yeah, but big him up. Make sure you go and follow him. Nottingham Forest fan. And of course, by the way, Forest fans, you made Arsenal fans happy because we thought Gibbs White was going to Tottenham. Forest said, nah, we're going to court then. And then the brother signed a new contract and we all laughed at Tottenham. So, yeah, big up Door on Tour. Make sure you follow him. Brilliant Nottingham Forest channel. And, yeah, anytime Tottenham are suffering, we get a little bit of joy out of that. By the way, make sure you're tuned in tomorrow. I will be doing a watch along, 12:30 kick-off. Arsenal against Tottenham friendly in Hong Kong. So lock in. Just to reiterate, for people who've turned up late, my Insta was hacked. There's no new house. There's no new car. Report that Instagram account for me and do not sign up for anything that is on that Instagram account. I'm trying to get that back. So I appreciate the well messages. I wish there was a new house and car. There isn't. Don't sign up for anything. Don't follow anything. Stay away from it. People thought I had a G-Wagon and a mansion. So yeah, stay away from that, but report it for me. I was watching you like a proud dad when you asked them questions. Smashed it. Do you know what? I look back. The reaction told me that I'm asking the right questions there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, man. I like that. I like that. So yeah, listen, big up to everyone locked in. Do me a favor, keep subscribing to this channel. We are less than 2,200 away from 100 racks, people. We need to get there before that season starts. Right, I've waffled on about the tour long enough. Let's get talking. Let's talk business. I have to say, by the way, and because I wasn't streaming as much, I only streamed once. The internet was very up and down. The mood when Gyökeres signed for Arsenal, I swear to you, people, it was different. And you experienced it as well. That feeling, the here we go from Fabrizio was absolute madness. Madness. I couldn't believe it. I haven't seen a reaction like this to an Arsenal signing for years, and I mean years. I said that Oba was my most exciting recent signing, but it kind of wasn't as exciting as Gyökeres, and the reason is we signed Aubameyang after losing Alexis in the same window, so it was a little bit like I found £100, but I lost £100. It was like we were supposed to add Aubameyang to Alexis Sanchez. We didn't. But this Gyökeres one, I swear I've never seen a reaction like this since probably Mesut Ozil, like where we were going absolutely mental, and we're breaking records. Apparently, Gyökeres 14 not only made the website crash, it has broken the Arsenal record for shirt sales in the first 48 hours of any signing at Arsenal. He's broke the record. The website crashed. You couldn't get the shirt. Couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. It was madness. It was madness. I actually got Gyökeres 14 on the back of the shirt. I probably won't wear it. My plan was to get it signed over there, but we didn't get an opportunity. But the hype was real. The hype was real. It was a crazy feeling. You've seen Lewis Skelly putting up videos. It was mad. It was absolutely mad. My feeling is that we're one player short. The whole of that tour, the one thing that stood out to me was we're still not good enough on the left. On the right, Saka, say no more. Baller. Up front, Gyökeres. The amount of hype I've given about this guy, I think he's going to score goals for fun, right? I think he's going to score 20 plus league goals as long as he's fit. But the left wing, I'm not convinced by it. I watched Martinelli in pre-season, didn't think he was good enough. There's something distinctly lacking in his game. Trossard is actually technically a very good player. He's just not quick enough. He's just not quick enough. We need a new left wing. We need a new left winger. Our left wingers are not good enough. I believe if we're going to win the Premier League next season, we need to sign a left winger. Whether that's Eze tucking in off the left, whether you go for Rodrigo, whoever and however that looks, Arsenal need a left winger. You need a front three to win a title. You need a front three. And I believe we need to add on that left-hand side. That needs to be a priority number one, in my opinion. Now, again, people, again, I tried to put some work in. Arsenal, I'm telling you, man, they should have dropped me a little wage for what happened on that tour. I was doing serious work for the football club. Now, not all of you agree. Not all of you agree with this winger. I just think he's brilliant. His end product, not always perfect. Definitely not always perfect. But he's exciting. He's definitely exciting. So we play AC Milan. And if you watch that game, there was 4 or 5 times in that game I was breezing past people. End product, definitely not perfect. Let's not cap. End product, not perfect. So let me give you the rundown of this. Liao walks past me. I said, yo, bro, can I have a quick word with you? He says, I'm just doing a quick interview on the way back. I said, cool. I said, cool. I got something to say, bro. Got something to say. So I break down because a lot of people were asking, what did he say? What did I say? Obviously, we didn't get clear answer. Again, he's not going to tell me, oh, yeah, I want to leave. But I'll give you the rundown. So basically, he's coming over. Player liaison takes his shirt. I'm like, yo, I need to tell you something. He said, what? I said, bro, you need to sign for Arsenal. Then he starts laughing. I said, imagine you and Saka on the wing. He covers his mouth. He said, it's not up to me. He said, it's not up to me. Well, it is up to you, bro, but he probably meant in the sense of like, I can't sign myself. I said, bro, you need to come to Arsenal. Watch the laugh. There you go. I said, imagine you and Saka on the wing. Tries to cover his mouth. He said, it's not up to me. Then he's like, right, I've got to go. I said, bless. Baller. Imagine him and Saka on the wing, bro. Madness. I swear, Arsenal, they should have paid me for this trip. They should have paid me. I was doing more work than Berta. Now, I let Berta off still. Berta signed Gyökeres. Big him up. I did more than Edu on that tour. I tried to get Liao. He said, it's not up to me. That means you pay the money for him. The brother's going to sign for us. But big up Berta still. Berta done a madness. I'm telling you now, Eze, Rodrigo, Liao, bring one of them. Bring one of them to the carpet. Bring one of them to the carpet. Liao was moving mad in that game, but his end product. There was one time he ran past like 3 players. I'm like, oh my God. And then he hit it straight at Raya, and I was like, I was speaking to a few of the AC Milan press over there, and they said he is one of the most exciting, but also frustrating players you could ever watch. That's what they were saying. They said he can easily run past 3 or 4 players and then miss the one-on-one. So they said you love him and he annoys you at the same time. So, yeah, I might send an invoice to Arsenal. They're going to be like, what's this for? Bro, you owe me some peas, fam. I've got Liao there ready to sign for us. Saliba said he's signing the new deal. What more do you want? Send me something. But anyway. And then thirdly, and I haven't even got the video, but there is a video of this, but you don't see me in the video, but you do hear me in the video. Let me just see if I've got it. I had it on my phone actually. What outlet was it who listed it? It was Astro. Astro. So imagine this. If you go on Astro, you'll find it, people. But imagine this. Game finishers, we're waiting in the mix zone. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is walking by. This is when you'll know you're getting older. I'm around all these journalists, and most of them are like 25, 20 years of age. Zlatan's walking by. To me, that's a football icon, by the way. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. These guys don't recognise him. These guys are like looking and go, no, just carrying on. I'm like, brother, that's Zlatan, you know. So I said, yo, Zlatan, man, what's... He come over, me and Cecil, said, yo, legend, man, proper striker. He said, are you here with Arsenal? He said, yeah. He said, oh, I heard you guys need a striker. This was before Gyökeres had just been announced. I said, hey, man, get your boots. He walked off doing that. I said, nah. I looked at the FTV cameraman. I said, please tell me you got that on camera. The brother is putting on the lens on the camera. I said, how the hell are you missing? That's Zlatan, bro. We're bantering. The guy's walking off doing this. You ain't got it on camera. Astro did get some of it on camera. And you can hear me asking him the question. But you don't see him doing that as he's walking off. I said, nah, man. Zlatan, you know. Big boy Zlatan. But yeah, man, it was good still. There's some moments, man. The tour goes off. I can't lie. Tour goes off. You get access you never usually get. And when you're, a guy like me, I kind of push boundaries a little bit. You know what I mean? Where a lot of the journalists wouldn't do that. And then, like I said, after the last game, Cruz had got injured back home. So I thought, you know what? Let me get some shirts signed. And yeah, man, big up Saka and Rice, man. They signed the shirts, which I appreciated. And then another one as well. When Declan Rice was taking the corner, he saw me and Cecil. He said, the boys are here. I was like, nah. Deckers is basically man's boy now, innit? Man said the boys are here. I'm like, yo, what? We going IB for next year? What's going on? But no, it was mad. The tour goes off. I could talk about it for ages. Joe, the cameraman, twisted his ankle. Bro, playing pool. How do you twist your ankle playing pool? You've never heard Ronnie O'Sullivan get injured playing snooker. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. But nah, listen, big up to even now, 3.5K. I haven't even really started talking. But nah, big up. What we were saying as well, man, is can you imagine if Arsenal ever won the title? Do you know what I mean? Imagine if Arsenal ever won the title. Even I can see you need your own cameraman. I think next year, Stevie Wonder TV, man said even I think next year, I need a cameraman. I need a cameraman. You know, I can't be going on tour relying on AFTV's cameraman to record things and me. I need somebody there because the amount of moments, the Leal moments, that I need a cameraman next season on tour, real talk. And I always say, let's try and get one from within the community. So I'm sure there's a few cameramen within this community. As we get towards maybe the end of the season, I'll put something out. And I always said everything needs to come from within this community. If we need an editor, it's got to be someone who's in here. If we need a cameraman, someone in here, people. C Unit business. We ain't playing. We ain't playing. Anyway, let me read out some of these super chats. We'll get into it. Don't forget, people, we're sponsored by Match Bingo today. Scan the QR code, link in the description. Big up to them. They sponsored me for the whole tour. And I'm still obviously doing other stuff as well. As we're back, we'll be doing a watch along for Arsenal Tottenham tomorrow as well. So yeah, man. Even I can see you need your own cameraman. That's banging. Lee Judges, that's Dan Byrne as the hotel room. So I give you the little bit of insight into that is Newcastle were in our hotel, right? Again, I know we're 30 minutes in. I basically haven't even started the show. Newcastle are in our hotel, and me, Lee, and Cecil were going gym most mornings, right? And the gym was next to the swimming pool. So one morning we're going, and there's some big security guard on the door. So we're like, yo, what's happening? He goes, oh, it's closed for 2 hours. The Newcastle team are using the pool and the gym. So Lee was bantering, like, how's the hotel room? It was great banter, to be fair. And we actually had a really good chat with Jason Tyndall, who's the assistant manager of Newcastle. We spoke to him 3 or 4 days in a row, and he was top guy, to be fair. Gave us a bit of insight. We were chatting, really good. And then on the last night, actually, Trippier went into the bar right next to us. He was like, if you want to join us, but we didn't. We were doing videos and stuff. So nah, man, big up to Newcastle. And I was like saying, yo, I was saying to Jason Tyndall, the assistant, I said, bro, you cannot be selling Isak to Liverpool, man, like Isak and Salah. And he was like, listen, it's not really in our hands. He said, if Liverpool get to a certain number, they're gonna be in trouble. You know, it's gonna be difficult. So if Liverpool offer the right money, I think Isak ends up at Liverpool, which is very disappointing. Very disappointing because you get Gyökeres, you think, one step forward, and then Isak goes to Liverpool. It's like, yo, man, 2 steps back now. Isak and Salah and Wirtz is going to be mental, which I think puts more pressure on Arteta to do business. We need a left winger. We need a left winger. I congratulated Curtis on a new property. Yeah, no congrats. Just report that account for me, people. That's all I need you to do. As I said, I was hacked on Instagram, so do not sign up for anything that you see on my Instagram. Random clips. What's your thoughts on Zubi, bro? I think he should be the midfielder to Rome and keep things ticking and let Rice sit. I saw 2 things, random clips on that tour of Zubimendi. One in the game, or games, and even in the training session. I think on the ball, starting attacks, I think Zubimendi's going to be elite. I think he's going to be elite. I saw parts of his game and I thought that's why we've been chasing him for 2 years. I think he's brilliant on the ball. He sees the game quickly passing. My one question mark is physically, defensively. Is he going to be able to handle big centre mids driving at him? On the ball, I think he's elite. Absolutely elite. Bro, man's laughing at me getting out. Bro, I'm having a desperate fight here to get my Instagram back. Let me know, people, in the comments afterwards. Has anybody ever been hacked and got their account back? I need it back. You know what I mean? Don't send them no messages. Just report them. I'm trying to get it back, but it's tough. Big C, your blood clot back. Yo! By the way, remember when I threatened to make you a new intro? What's your email? I will send it to you. CurtisShawTV@hotmail.com. Feel free to send it, bro. Big up to Beresford. Mohammed Daily Eze, big up. Yeah, do you know what? I've been here 32 minutes. Let's start the show. HR, Isak to Liverpool. Liverpool weak defensively. Arsenal Premier League chances. Be interested to see how Liverpool get on with having two attacking fullbacks. Will it open them up a bit? Although Robertson and Trent were attacking, but obviously they knew the system. Ops reaction tells me something, said Latte, you're right. There was a lot of people hating on Gyökeres. I said, yeah, man. They know this is a mad signing. Stevie Wonder said, I still can't see Arsenal winning the league. If we get the left winger, we got a chance. Midnight, 8-1 Gyökeres, top Premier League goal scorer, solid bet. 8-1, you know. Yo, it's Haaland, isn't it? That guy, he's a madman. Random clips. Players appreciate the straightforwardness. Not all this beating around the bush when asking a question like, so I think you're, and that's what I believe. That's why I think I'm getting better reactions out of players and the manager, because it's just, there you go. Give me the answer. It's much easier than the waffle some of the journalists ask. NCUSA Gunnar, check the stats on Gyökeres' availability. Compared to Isak, it provides some hopium. Yeah, but I don't get caught up in that because Thomas Partey was available a lot and Tomiyasu was available a lot and Zinchenko's was not bad. You know, big up Mangu said, great show. Bad news about your son. OP is better. Love to. He's recovering. He's recovering, man. And that's the main thing. He's back home. Yeah, oh, man's on to me. Yeah, so if you saw that, so I know I'm still waffling about the tour. There was a meet and greet, Sides Restaurant in Singapore. Loads of fans came to meet. Big up everyone I met, by the way. So many people like, yo, see unit, see unit. A Tottenham fan turns up with a Tottenham shirt on. Bear in mind, they've queued up to take the picture. So he came to put his arms out, and I was like, nah, bro. So we just took a funny picture, like I was scratching his head. And then I think Robbie was grabbing his shirt. He took the picture, man. So Simon was on me, said, explain your pic with a Spurs fan wearing a Spurs jersey. Bro, it's meet and greet. It's not that serious. Not like I had my arm around him smiling. You know, it is what it is. I told him, brother, you can't put your arm around no one with that Spurs shirt on. You know what I mean? But the man queued up for like an hour. Can't really, but yeah, it is what it is. Maybe I should have just said no pic. No, you ain't getting a pic. I don't care how long you queued up for. But, you know, I can't be that harsh. Big up, Nay, man. Blessings for little man C. Hope everything is good. Appreciate it, bro. Hope you're well, Nay. Hope the family's good. Right. No green screen today. I was totally unprepared. By tomorrow, and that will be good for the watch along. Make sure you tune in 11:30 a.m. UK time. Arsenal against Tottenham. Gyökeres debut. And big up to AFTV guys. They were there today for the press conference and the reaction to Arteta's questions. Right. We spent every day talking about Gyökeres. The deal's done. It's amazing. He walked out like a wrestler at that game. They were like, Victor Gyökeres. He just walked out. I swear he was moving like a robot. It's like he was just walking like this. I said, nah, this guy's another Haaland. It's them Scandinavian, man, I'm telling you. He walked out like a robot. He waved at a few people and he just turned around and just marched out. I said, nah, this guy's a robot. This is another kind of Haaland kind of character. He's just going to score big goals for us. I can tell. Or he's built like a brick. He's massive. I said, Ra, what's going on here? He just walked out like that. Just hench, just swinging the arms. I said, nah, this guy's mad. This guy's mad still. I think he's going to bag goals for it. I think he's going to score tomorrow. I've just got this feeling. It's Ivan Drago, for real. It's Drago. Big up Kenroy. Hail up from Jamaica, bro. Respect Big T. Yeah, he deserves to get the brown paper bag. You got to do what you got to do. I can't believe the man took 14. But I'm excited about it. Because it said to me a lot about his mindset. You're coming to Arsenal and taking 14. Say no more. because you will sink or swim wearing that shirt. That 14 will either weigh you down or you're going to swim off into the distance as one of the best strikers on the planet. So I love the mindset. Glock 14, I'm with it, people. I'm with it. It shows what he's about, his mentality. It was daily Gyökeres. Somehow we've got that deal done. Unbelievable bit of business by Berta. I think the price we've got him for is ridiculous, by the way. I'm sorry. 63 and a half. I think they said 65 million or 64 and a half. I think that's ridiculous. When you look at that goal record and what he's doing, that's a £100 million player in the modern market. I think that is an absolute bargain. But it's about what happens next. And it's got to be Eberici Eze. If it ain't a Leao or a Rodrigo, it's got to be this guy. Ed Aarons, who works for The Guardian, said Arsenal have been told they would have to pay more than half of Eberici Eze's release clause up front to sign the England forward, with Crystal Palace determined not to allow him to leave for less than the fee that could reach up to £67.5 million, including bonuses. He then went on to say, Eze's release clause is thought to expire before the Premier League season kicks off on the 16th of August, although that is not understood to affect Palace's valuation of the 27-year-old. QPR are due 20% sell-on fee if he leaves. So let's break it down from a few points of view. Let's break this deal down and the situation. You cannot be naive enough as Arsenal Football Club to think when that release clause runs out, they are still going to say, oh, even though the release clause has run out, you can still give us 67 million. No, no, no. You get that deal done before the 16th of August. Do not believe that they are going to sit with that same price. You sign him before the first game of the season. Simple as that. Jim, I agree. I was saying the same thing. I want Eze and a left winger. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Arsenal will make one more signing. I've said many times I don't think Eze will be elite on the left. He's not a winger, but you can change the tactics a certain way and get it to work. I would like to see Eze and then a Rodrigo or a Leao, but that's going to cost you probably 150, 130 million, which to me, as I said before, you don't buy Madueke, you spend that money, you add on that, you get Eze, and then you buy the left winger. That's what I think we should have done. Sign the left winger, signed Eze, signed Gyökeres. Instead, they signed Madueke, signed Gyökeres. Now we're probably only going to get one of the attacking midfielder or left winger. Now, you got to understand, QPR sold Eze to Crystal Palace for cheap, so they put a high sell-on clause, 20%. Clever business. You get 67.5 million. That's going to get them about, what, 13 million quid for a championship club for a player they sold years ago. Great business from them. Also, you got to remember, Crystal Palace are going to lose 13 million pounds. So they're actually going to get, what, 54.5 million for Eze. So they're getting bumped. They're getting bumped in this deal. Let's be honest. You cannot tell me that Crystal Palace are going to negotiate at the same price once that release clause is closed. They are not. They are not. They're only going to get 50 odd million quid. They're going to put the price up to offset the add-ons, which have got to go to QPR. So, yeah, I was saying that as well. Probably Madueke ends up on the left. I can tell you one thing. I don't agree. Clipsicle said, why Leao not better than Martinelli? I think he's better than him. I think he's better than him. And I think his level could go up in the Prem as well. But that's just my opinion. Love Eze, but all in for... The Rodrigo deal looks like it's disappearing. I think that he will stay probably at Madrid. I think he will stay. But Eze... Apparently they want 35 million up front. They want the deal to be paid in 2 years. Which is quite fast for such a big deal. You generally would pay this sort of price over 3 or 4 years. you maybe would pay 20 million up front or 15 million up front. You pay it over 4 years. To pay this over 2 years is very expensive. Now, again, yeah, we could say if you hadn't bought Madueke, you got more cash on the hip, you could have paid that. But for me, people, and listen, people say it's unrealistic, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. I believe at this current moment in time, I don't think we've quite got enough to win the league. If Liverpool get Isak especially. You've got to get one more top player in. You've got to get one more top player in. If it's Eze, I'm happy. I think he's a fantastic player. I really do. I think his ability to go past players, he can pick out passes, he's strong, he can shoot. Arsenal fan loves the club. Imagine turning up with Eze, Gyökeres and Saka as your front three. There was times last year, I mean, Saka was injured. We're playing what? Martinelli, Havertz and Trossard or something. Like, come on, imagine turning up with Eze, Gyökeres and Saka. You can win the league with that. So I know Arsenal might be looking at this and going, it's expensive. You've got to get the deal done. How do you get this deal done? You've got to sell players. You've got to sell players. Because if Arsenal are struggling to get the pay that much money up front, you've got to go, okay, Zinchenko's got to leave. Reece Nelson's got to leave. Fabio Vieira's got to leave. You've got to sell those guys and get some cash so that you can go, there's your 35 million. You've got to get guys out of the club. We haven't sold. What's Sambi Lokonga doing on tour? He's been on tour. He hasn't come on in both games. Pointless. Sell him. Get 5 million for him. Get him out. We all know that. You're right. We all know the number 10 shirt is waiting for Eze. 14 Gyökeres, 10 Eze. Done. Keep it moving. It's waiting for him. Absolutely waiting for him. That deal needs to get done. Simple as that. And I hope they do get it done. Again, tried to have a few conversations on tour and try and get a little bit of info. The general feeling is that they're waiting to do it, but they probably need to raise money. That's what it sounded like. I think it's because Palace are asking for so much money up front. 37 or 35 million up front is a lot of money. But I think we will make a move for him. And we have. According to reports, we've actually approached Crystal Palace already. And that's what they've told us. Football Capo said, Curtly, you think Eze will kick up a fuss to guarantee a move? I don't know, you know. He might feel like he owes Crystal Palace a lot. But who knows? We don't really know. No, OGD, even though, listen, I agree, by the way, I would pay it. What I'm saying is the 52 million we paid for Madueke, if you read a lot of reports or speak to people, the rumour is we paid very little money up front. That doesn't make it right, by the way. I'm just saying the structure of the deal for Madueke, Chelsea, because Chelsea know they're bumping us at 52 million. They've said, yo, take your time, man. Pay 10, 15 million up front. Pay it over 4 or 5 years. As long as they get their money, they're happy. Palace are not in that situation. That's their best player. They want half the money up front. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a player up front. But we need to get it done. Football Capo said, I prefer Isak on the pitch, but Gyökeres in a bar fight. Listen, I just want him to be a goal-scoring machine, Gyökeres. Liam G said, gut feeling, we put Liverpool in a spliff this year with them being all-out attack. Rouet said, looking like Zaha Part 2, and we all know how that ended up. I think we'll get Eze. I've got a feeling. HR said, agree with you. Liverpool will be outscoring. We need Eze, Leao, and 2 more. Wow. We need to match Liverpool. We need proven Premier League players. Get Watkins or Sarr. I don't see us buying that many. I wish we did. But we need another player. We need another player. Just quickly, Hand of Arsenal, who has actually been doing bits in this window, whoever it is. But yeah, he's had a very good window. He came out today and said, Eze Palace update. The release clause does indeed have an expiry date that comes into effect before deadline day. I'm not sure this changes the value Palace have placed on Eze. I think they would change it, but who knows? Arsenal and Palace have engaged in talks, multiple sources confirm. As of today, Palace are looking for approximately 30 million as a first payment for any agreed deal. Personal terms are not an issue, no further advancement as of today. That deal is literally there. Eze's agreed personal terms with Arsenal. It's there, it's ready, it's waiting. We've just got to say, okay, we'll pay you 30 odd million up front. Man are saying hand of Arsenal is Frimmy. Big up Frimmy, man. Spoke to him a few times on tour. Big him up, man. It's got to be someone from within the club who's just saying, yo, let me make sure I get a bit of extra money, man. I'm going to set up an account and put all these things out there. No, he said Liverpool live rent free. Do you know what? I got to be honest. Seeing Liverpool go for Isak is mental. Ilya said, forget winning. I can bet on finishing second. Oh, you aren't finishing second. Well, I hope we don't. We need to win the league. We need to win the league. A couple other things to talk about. Let's have a brief conversation about this lad. Max Dowman. Do you know people online, I've realised, either way you can't win online. This is what I told people. You know when you're in this football space as a content creator, either way, someone's going to get annoyed. If you're critical, they'll have a go at you. If you have a joke, they'll take it seriously. I did an interview. I called him Messi Dalman. Oh, you're calling him Messi. You're getting carried away, brother. You ain't got no sense of humour. I'm joking. They were crying in the comments. Some of them, not everyone. Most people understand. Max Dalman. I went onto the tour going, 15 years of age. Yeah, he looks good in the youth team, but I don't know. I came away from the 2 games and I went, this guy might end up getting first team football this season. I'm not talking about playing every week. I'm just talking about being involved in the first team. The first game, I went, yeah, he looked decent against this. The second game against Newcastle, I went, hang on a minute. He's just looked possibly like one of our best players on the pitch for the half an hour that he came on. I said, nah. This guy's moving mad. The low centre of gravity, the way he's drifting past players, he's moving mad. And he's getting good shots off at the end of it as well. It's crazy. Man's spinning Joel Linton, and you know Joel Linton's a bully on the pitch as well. Fair play to him, the game's the game. This guy, I said, nah, he's moving mad. Yeah, but it's only half an hour. I said, yo, I never seen Fabio Vieira do that. I never seen Marquinhos do that. Guys that we brought in. This guy, nah. He'll get minutes tomorrow, and I think he'll be involved this season for Arsenal. I heard something, I don't know how true this is. I heard a story that when Lamine Yamal was at Barcelona, they could have put him in the team at 15, but they didn't, because at 15 you can only play on a youth contract. Youth contracts are very weak. You can be bought out of them quite cheap. So they said Lamine wasn't allowed to play until he was 16, so they could put him on a professional contract so that clubs couldn't buy him. I heard something while I was over there about Max like that they may delay it until he's 16. I don't know how true that is, by the way. That was one of the stories going round. He's not 16 till like December or January, was it? 16 in January, which would be frustrating because he looks like he could play now. I don't know how true that is. Maybe the contracts have changed nowadays and you can play him, but he looks proper. Did you get the away top? I didn't buy it for me. Nah. I got Cruz one just so we could get it signed. Saka signed that one. But yeah, it is. I have to admit the kit's better than I thought it was. When I saw it in person, I thought, oh, it's not bad. New Year's Eve, he turned 16. Yeah, there you go. Baller, absolute baller, man. You can just tell a player, man. The eye test is stronger than any stat in football. And he's a baller. He's an absolute baller. You can just tell straight away the way he's dribbling. What I loved about the way he played, right? There was a time where Odegaard had the ball, right? And we was stood pitch side. And you could hear him saying, yeah. He was like, yes, yes. Then he started like shouting. And I'm thinking, you're 15 years of age. Your captain's on the ball and you're shouting at him to get the ball. And I thought, your mentality is you're fearless. You don't give a damn. Just telling Odegaard, give me the ball because I think I'm going to do more with it than you. And that just tells you a lot, just generally about the guy's mentality and the way he believes in himself. And the fact every time he got the ball, he was just driving at people. I said, nah, he can play, man. He can play. Let's see what happens with him. Them players can save you a lot of money. Because a year ago, I remember watching Lewis Skelly on tour and thinking, yeah, he looks decent at left back. A year later, Lewis Skelly's our first team left back. He's playing for England, you know? The eye test is stronger than any stat in football. Yo, quote that. I'm telling you. Quote me on that one. Big C moving crazy in the window, new yard and G-Wagon. People. Let me reiterate, for anyone who's turned up late, my Insta was hacked. There's no mansion, no G-Wagon, and report that account. People were messaging me, congrats. And no, I'm not in Hong Kong, people. I'm back. I'm back, man. Just the green screen and everything. I took it all down. So now I'm back. I'm not in Hong Kong. Live stream tomorrow morning. Live watch along. 12:30 kickoff. Arsenal against Tottenham. You forgot the swimming pool. Yeah, exactly. Did the luggage turned up the third day, people. So yeah, they'll be getting a compensation form because I had to buy clothes for 3 days. But yeah, man. Nah, bro, I ain't even got a dishwasher yet. Never mind a G-Wagon. You know what I'm saying? I'm still leaving the pots to soak in the sink. If there was a G-Wagon, you'd see the difference. I'd be in a studio with like a 8K camera and all sorts. So you'll know when there's a G-Wagon, it will all look different. Anyway, couple of outgoings needed to raise that Eze money, people. Ben Jacob says Fulham have made an approach to. Fulham are like Arsenal reserves now. Anybody we want to sell, they try and buy them. Big up Fulham, man. Smith Rowe's there, Iwobi's there, Leno. They had Nelson on loan. Fulham have made an approach to sign Alexander Zinchenko. Fulham have been in talks with the players' camp since early June. They are now considering making a formal bid, with Arsenal valuing the player at around £15 million. Now, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not good business, to be honest. Paid 35, selling for 15. Something ain't right there. But his wages are 150 grand a week. So you're going to have to let him go cheaper to offset the wages. If Fulham are willing to pay 150, they certainly ain't going to pay 20 million plus for the player. So yeah, it's a case now of getting some money in for these players and getting them off the wage bill. So that's just where we're at, people. I think it'd be a good move for him. I've always said I think he can potentially end up playing in midfield as well. But yeah, Zinchenko being linked to Fulham, 15 million. I'd take 15 million. He's got a year left on his deal. You're not going to get loads of money for him. And to get that 150 a week off the wage bill would be a big positive in, what we can do moving forward, whether that's Eze or whoever we go for. So yeah, I would be doing that deal if I was Arsenal. But again, not good business. Another one who is not good business, and we know that, is Fabio. Let me just call him Fabio again. We're not even going to address the second name. That's Patrick Vieira's name, and I will leave it as that. West Ham have added Fabio. Ben Jacobs, I hope you're not getting these wrong, by the way, because you're giving us hope that we're going to sell these guys. They've added Fabio to their list of midfield options. No approach yet to Arsenal, but Vieira are now a name of interest. West Ham are planning to add multiple midfielders this summer. Again, they're saying 15 million. Again, he costs 35 million. Poor business. Again, honestly, I would sell him for 15. I'd probably sell him for 10 million. Real talk. Got to sell him. Not good enough. Yeah, I don't want to say too much. I want us to sell the guy first, then I'll say what I really think. West Ham fans tuned in. Yeah, he's like, he reminds me of Bernardo Silva. But you guys know the truth in the chat. Oh, Man United going for Sesko. I did see that actually. Is that like proper? Is that coming from like serious links? Yeah. I haven't actually seen. I saw a little story, but I didn't know it was actually official. So United want Sesko. That's interesting. Imagine Sesko ends up at United. There'll be so many comparisons between him and Gyökeres because obviously we were in for him. Ain't it funny though, people, right? How Leipzig and Sesko, you've missed out on an Arsenal move, and then now all of a sudden, I think what's happened with Leipzig, they thought they were going to bump us and get loads of money. When they realised we weren't going to pay it, they kind of waited and then they've missed out. And in the end, they've said, just get rid of this guy. Oh, yeah, Ornstein, Man United prioritising Sesko if the striker signed this summer. 22-year-old preferred option is United ahead of Newcastle. Interesting, interesting. There was a story that came out about Sesko saying that Sesko was like, I can't remember the exact wording, but they were saying that Sesko was, he kind of had doubts about whether he'd get in the Arsenal team ahead of Havertz because he's seen Havertz like scoring goals against Chelsea when he played for Arsenal. And I thought, bro, if you don't believe in yourself as a striker, that you can come to Arsenal and get Havertz out of the team, you are not the striker for me. I said all along, no disrespect, the guy's obviously a talented footballer, but that isn't the footballer that I want. If you don't believe as a striker you can get Kai Havertz out of a starting 11, something is not right. Something is not right. And I'm so glad that these guys backed out of that deal. He'll go to United because United will pay him big wages. You've got Hoyland, Xerxes. He knows he walks into that Man United team. Man was intimidated by Havertz. But it'd be interesting because, you know, a lot of fans will be saying Gyökeres has got to outscore him. So, anyway, United look like they're making a move for him instead of Ollie Watkins. Lucas said, do you want to see Believe we will win the league? Honestly, I think we're a player short. You give me an elite left winger, I've got genuine belief. Because, listen, if Isak goes to Liverpool, on paper, their team is ferocious. However, they've made a lot of changes in one window. 2 new fullbacks, a new attacking midfielder, and a new striker. That's half your team being changed. You never know how that's going to affect your balance. And let's be real, football's not won on paper. Because Real Madrid should have won everything last season, having a front three of Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vinicius, with Jude Bellingham in the 10. It upset the balance of that team. So, on paper, Liverpool run away with the league. But maybe the balance ain't quite the same. Trent's creativity, who knows? You just never know. But what I will say is I still think we're short. I still think something needs to change on that left. I don't believe you win a title with Martinelli or Trossard starting on the left. I just don't believe it. One of them two has got to get sold and you've got to bring somebody in. Stevie Wonder said, I quit my job at the airline. Sorry about your luggage. Big up. Yeah, we got it after 3 days, but Chronicles of eFootball. Curtis, after watching your interview about Messi Dowman, I suggested for it to get clipped up. Yeah, man. I said, you know, Rob, I'm not one to get carried away, but I thought Messi Dowman was decent today. Yeah, hey, listen, man. Halftime reaction said, Big C, I emailed you, Herbert Wilson. I will check in after this, bro. Big up. Ilya said, Arsenal signings won't win the league because the squad lacks trophy winning experience, showing a mentality issue, and the manager can't deliver victory. I mean, Gyökeres won back-to-back titles. Mendy's won the Euros. So those two will probably help. They need to figure out how to win themselves. Sometimes you don't have winners in the dressing room. You become the winners. You become the winners yourself. These guys need to become the winners. We've got the quality. There's just some reason we're not getting over the finish line. See, how is Sunderland paying 20 million for Xhaka after leaving Arsenal for the same amount 4 seasons ago? Our selling is really bad. That's a great signing for them, by the way. Has he been away 4 seasons? I thought he'd been away 2 seasons. Great signing for Sunderland. I thought he'd have gone somewhere else, to be honest. But good luck to Granit, man. What starting 11 will you play? And most of our team picks itself. Our team picks itself. You have Raya in goal, back 4. Back 4 would be Lewis Skelly, Saliba, Gabriel. Gabriel's a worry, by the way. Hasn't played any football on tour. You wonder if that hamstring injury is still bothering him. So maybe Calafiori or Kivi will start we'll see what happens with Gabriel. I think Arteta said he's not involved tomorrow either. So that's a concern. Timber hasn't played either. So one thing I realised, and we know this anyway, but Ben White links up better with Saka. I think Timber defensively is better than Ben White. I think Ben White going forward is better than Timber. So that might not be just clear cut that it's Timber, because Ben White and him link up so well. But they're great options. Midfield obviously picks itself at the moment. Rice, Zuber, Odegaard. I thought Odegaard looked sharp in pre-season. And then the front three will be Saka, Gyökeres, and then they've got to sign somebody else. It can't be Martinelli or Trossard. I need to see somebody new, high quality that can carry the ball. That's what I need to see. And then I think you'll see the best of Arsenal going forward. Another transfer story. Big up, over 4,000 of you locked in, man. Really appreciate it. Great numbers. Good to be back. Graham Bailey said Arsenal have told Leandro Trossard they will not stand in his way of an exit. He's ready to depart, with the wingers camp now working on options. Both Napoli and Atalanta have joined the chase for the winger. The story goes on to say basically that the favourites to get him are Borussia Dortmund. But Atalanta and Napoli are interested in the player as well. Apparently, up until now, he has refused to extend his contract. Now, listen, it's quite simple. If he's not willing to extend the contract, you get rid of him. You know, there's no time to mess about. Got a year left. You don't want to extend the deal, you get moved on. And Arsenal need to get 20 million plus. And this is what I'm saying. Let's say you can get 20, 25 million for Trossard. You get 15 million for Zinchenko. You get 10, 15 million for Fabio Vieira. You get 15 million for Reece Nelson. You can quite easily buy Eze. You can raise that 30 odd million for Eze with a couple of sales, and then you pay the rest next year. So Arsenal have to sell. They have to sell. You would hope that because Trossard has got 2 or 3 clubs in for him, that you can play those clubs off of each other and end up getting a little bit more money. A lot of people saying Sami Mokbel. What is he saying regarding Eze? Is he just repeating what's being said? What has been said, people? I can't see the tweet. Let me try and find it. Sami Mokbel said there is a feeling at Arsenal that Eze's best position is at number 10, which we all know that. An area that Odegaard and Nwaneri operate in. Eze can play on the left, and Arsenal may view the Palace forward as a multifunctional attacker rather than just a 10. Palace are aware of Arsenal's interest. The Gunners are understood to value Eze lower than his 68 million release clause and want to negotiate a deal beneath that. That last sentence makes me think the deal won't happen, because why, oh why would Crystal Palace sell him for less? Why? They've just made Europe. He's their best player. He has a release clause. Why are they going to drop the price? Apparently the sell on is 15 million, apparently not 20. Why would they drop the price? If you're Palace, it doesn't make sense. You would say 68 million or leave him alone. So, yeah. The thing is, if Arsenal feel like, and I've said this many times, Eze is not an out-and-out left winger, go and buy an out-and-out left winger. Spend that 68 million towards Rodrigo. Spend it on Leao. Spend it on Lookman. If you feel you need a touchline hugging fast winger, there are wingers out there. I said this time and time again, people, and I hope the PTSD is not kicking in here. Madueke end up on the left. Madueke will end up on the left-hand side. I can see it already. I can see it already. And I tell you why. It's because of the structure of the deal. So you look at it on the outside and go, yo, 50 million, but we could have got Eze for 60 million, or we could have got Leao for 60 odd million. It's not that. It's the structure of the deal. Chelsea have given us some Klarna, layaway, clear pay business, where yo, 52 million, but yo, you've only got to pay 12 million up front. There you go, you can have him. Spread the payments over 5 years. You're good, man. That's why we've signed Madueke, people, because Chelsea give us a payment plan that ticks all the boxes. It's not going to cripple us financially. We're going to spread those payments. His wages are not that high. It's light work. You go and sign Eze, 35 million up front, probably 150 grand a week wages. You sign Madueke, you're probably paying 10 million a year for him, 12 million, something, whatever like that. And apparently he's on less than 100 grand a week. Works perfectly for Arsenal, don't it? A lot of the time, this is what Arsenal do. Arsenal wanted Zaha, they didn't buy him. Why? Because Crystal Palace wanted a lot of money up front. We ended up with Pepe. Why? Because Lille were willing to spread the payments. Rinse and repeat years later. Years later, same thing. Want Eze, won't pay the money, get Madueke, nice payment structure. Madueke, Gyökeres, Saka, put money on it. I put money on it. Yok9 said, I don't understand Madueke hate. He's a decent player. But those last two words are where the problem's coming from. Number one, there's no hate for Madueke. I'm just not happy with the signing. Number two, decent player. I don't want a decent player, and a decent player shouldn't cost you 52 million. Number three, he's not a natural left winger. So why would you sign a right winger to play him on the left? Why would you do that? Why not just buy a left winger? Thought you bought a G-Wagon, bro. A lot of people did. Report that account. I was hacked. SG said, Eze, Rodrigo, and an elite manager, and benching Odegaard, and we are favourites to win the league, said SG. It's going to be interesting. There's nowhere to hide with that start to the season. And DJ McDaddy said, on the other hand, the Glock is reading Odegaard's welcome note and saying, some assists will do, please. I am hoping Odegaard kicks into gear this season with Gyökeres and that movement up front. I thought he looked quite good in pre-season, to be honest. I thought that Odegaard looked sharp. And I even said to him when he came by in the press, I said, you fit now? He said, yeah, I feel good. So I'm hoping, man. Dre Guna said, yo, Big C, big up my little bro Dan, who's about to make some big moves in life. Big up, man. We always big up big moves, you know. I would say to Arsenal, if you're unsure about Eze playing left wing, go and buy a left winger. It's as simple as that. It's not rocket science. If you view Eze more as a 10, which most of us do, go and buy Leao. Go and buy Rodrigo. Go and buy one of those guys. But the problem is, you go to AC Milan to buy Leao, they're going to want loads of money up front. You go to Real Madrid to buy Rodrigo, they're going to want loads of money up front. It's payment structure FC, people, unfortunately. So that's what will maybe stop us going for some of these guys. Right, people, I'm going to round up. Don't forget today's show was sponsored by Match Bingo. Scan the QR code link in the description below. Want to say a big thank you. Thank you for all the well wishes for Cruz. Really appreciate it. I'll pass on the messages. As I said, the Instagram was hacked, so do not sign up for anything. There's no G-Wagon and no mansion. And also appreciate everyone who was supporting Shaw on tour. The numbers and the amount of new subscribers and the amount of likes was crazy to say. Most of it was 10-minute recorded videos with the phone, you know, on the tripod. So yeah, man, really appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, early kickoff, 12:30 p.m. UK time. I'll try and go live at 11:30 a.m. So make sure you're up nice and early. Arsenal against Tottenham watch along. Mohamed Kudus debut for Tottenham. And Victor Gyökeres debut for Arsenal. Should be a good one, people. Big up to everyone locked in. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all